Hello there, welcome to the Perfume Experience. Welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to compare two fragrances which are considered alternates of Bleu de Chanel, and we're going to talk all about it. Which is one of them is definitely Bleu by Ahmed. This we reviewed last week, and I told you this is a Bleu de Chanel Parfum, alt, and a lot of you like this particular fragrance, ordered it, and also wanted to know what about, or is this better than Club De Nuit's Blue Iconic. So I have a decant of this here, so I thought let's compare these two and let you know which is better or what do I feel about each of these fragrances. All about that in this particular video. You're watching the Perfume Experience. My name is Rodney. Let's get started right after this intro. Alright, welcome back. So first of all, let me just give you a very brief about the Bleu de Chanel Parfum's scent profile. So this is mostly a citrusy, spicy fragrance with a little bit of green note and a little bit of woody element and a little bit of incense. So what you get is a nice citrusy opening with a little bit of pink pepper, black pepper kind of spiciness, and then of course you get a nice vibe of that sandalwood, which is there in this element, which brings that nice woodiness, which brings that creaminess into this particular fragrance, along with a little bit of incense out of that. But overall, a very nice citrusy, clean, blue, aquatic type of a fragrance that you can wear for office and for any time of the year. Right now, in fact, if you watched my review about Bleu by Ahmed, now one of the things that I told you, while this is a great alternative of Bleu de Chanel Parfum edition, so it had one slight flaw in it, which was, or rather one shortcoming I would say, between these two when I compared to the OG and this, was that I told you that in Bleu by Ahmed the sandalwood note was not very prominent. Okay, so that is the part that was lacking behind in this particular fragrance. Right now I got a 10 ml decant of Armaf's Blue Iconic, which is also considered as a very good Bleu de Chanel alt. Okay, and I compared this and I can tell you what I kind of think. So I got this from a fellow fragate called Sufyan, right? So I got this as a 5 ml decant just for this particular test. Now in Iconic Blue, what I get is the opening, the citrus elements are a lot lower. Okay, so that is something that you will notice immediately. The scent profile is very nice. It's very smooth, very clean, very well blended, and in fact I can tell you it's one of the nicest openings and the smoothest openings that you will get in a fragrance as such. Very beautifully done. Okay, then the fragrance opens towards that woody elements, and you get the sandalwood note. Right now, in the sandalwood note here is very prominent and very well done, and you kind of get very good nuances of that sandalwood note, and that carries for a long time. Now that sandalwood note opens up after about 40 minutes to 50 minutes time is when you kind of get that, and then you get that projection on this particular fragrance round about that. Right, so you get a good projection for about an hour, or at least I would say, where that citrus elements is little lower but the woody element becomes more dominant. Okay, then after about an hour or so, I would say that this fragrance starts becoming a little more linear, but the woody element continues to be there. Okay, so that is the primary difference that I feel between Iconic and Bleu by Ahmed. So most importantly, what happens in Bleu by Ahmed is that this is more citrusy, okay, and lesser on the woodier part of it. So when I have done my sprays, okay, so I did a spray of testing of each of these fragrances, so and I can clearly tell you that this is more citrusy, more spicy, little lower on the woody element, whereas this is Iconic is lower on the citrus element, more on the woodier element, and smells nice. Between the two, I absolutely enjoyed even Iconic as well. Very nice, very creamy, very beautiful, very nice scent profile, especially if you like that Bleu de Chanel's. I did a spray. Let me do another one just now. So when you put this particular spray and when you do an opening, so if I were to compare again, all right, just to do this, let's try a couple of sprays again. So if you do this, and I'll tell you right at the opening what you kind of get, right? At the opening, I feel Bleu by Ahmed captures the opening of Bleu de Chanel more accurately. So at the opening, very much that citrusy element, all of that is very well captured here. Okay. Citrus definitely is much lower in Iconic, definitely. Okay, so that is definitely there. But after the 20 minutes mark is when the sandalwood kind of opens up, is where I feel that Ahmed by Blue by Ahmed does not open up that sandalwood note that very dominantly, whereas Iconic does that very, very well. And after the 1.5 mark, the story is the same. Both of them smell very similar in the air. You don't really find a lot of differences at all. In fact, the difference that I'm talking about, the woody note being more prominent in Iconic Blue, and citrus being more prominent in Blue, is only at close sniffing, right? But in the air you really can't tell the differences between the two. But I feel the Iconic has captured the essence of the sandalwood note very well on this particular fragrance, right? So both of them are not very accurate in my way, in the sense to say that while Blue by Ahmed is definitely more citrusy and captures all of those citrus elements right, its spicy elements right, does not capture the woody element. Iconic captures the woody element but lower on the citrus and all of that. Scent profile wise, both of them are very nice. Both of them are very smooth, more well blended. If I were to pick between the two, which is more smoother, more nicer, I would definitely say Iconic is definitely more smoother and more creamier that way. So that extra thing definitely goes there, but it comes at a cost as well. So because Blue by Ahmed is about 1800 rupees to 1850 for 100 ml, Iconic Blue is 3600 rupees roughly for the same, right? So you get about 105 ml, I think, for the same amount of price, right? So if you compare price wise, value for money wise, Iconic becomes 2 times the price of a Blue by Ahmed, right? So it kind of depends on what is your budget and what you want to get. So definitely I feel Iconic by Blue is much more closer alt to the Bleu de Chanel, just because of that sandalwood note, which is very, very nice in the original, and that is very creamy, very beautiful. That part is very nice. But Blue by Ahmed is more value for money, especially when you consider a budget fragrance which is under 2000 rupees, right? So that is my consensus. So what do you think, which is good? So I kind of feel Iconic is nicer if you have the budget for it, because it's more smoother and definitely more creamier. But in terms of performance, both of them are absolutely same. Both of them have got the same type of performance, lasting, projection, all of that is same. There is no difference between the two. I would say marginally maybe Iconic is slightly better in terms of the loudness, but otherwise marginally, just marginally, but otherwise performance is absolutely same for both the fragrances, right? So pretty much, right? So between the two, if your budget can go up to 3,500-4,000 rupees, you should definitely go with Iconic Blue, no doubts about that. But if you're looking for a more budget friendly, a good alternate of Bleu de Chanel Parfum edition, then go by Blue by Ahmed, right? So that is my consensus and my review and comparison about Blue by Iconic and Blue Iconic by Armaf and Blue by Ahmed. It's like a tongue twister, these two names, right? So you're watching the Perfume Experience. My name is Rodney. Until another time, take care. Bye now.